That's got to be a double yoker. Hey everybody, I'm Andrew. Welcome to Eden Rock Farm. I'm down here at the chickens this morning. I went ahead and got everybody fed and watered and all taken care of. But I noticed while I was down here, I'm having some issues with my poultry netting. I'm gonna have to do some repairs to it today. So let's swing around here real quick. We'll look at it and see what our trouble is, and we'll go see what we need to do to get it fixed. Our chickens are starting to lay pretty good. I got a big old egg today. That's a hoss there. Here's a normal size white one that I usually get. But they're starting to lay good. We got a pretty good basket of eggs today. But when I was doing my chickens, I came out here and I noticed one of my posts was broke off here at the bottom. We had quite a bit of snow this year, and a couple of those storms brought some heavy ice, which bowed my fence over and made it sag pretty good. So I think that's what's did this. But let's go up to the brooder and grab what I need. I've got an extra post up there, and we'll come back down here and get this fixed. So this is a pretty easy fix. Shouldn't be too bad. If I can get this unhooked with one hand. I usually start at the top of my post. There's a little black cap here. I'll take this top wire and I'll pull it through this hole. There's a little slit here. It just pops out. And then I've got a zip tie on mine here at the top also. So we'll just cut that off real quick. All I have to do after that is just take my loops and work them down off the end of my pole. And then let's go grab my new pole, and I'll show you what we need to do to it to get it back on here. My replacement post doesn't have a black cap on it. I do have a spare bag of parts for my wiring and some caps and some crimps also if I need to use them. But I'm gonna try and take the old cap off of this one and reuse it so I don't waste one of my new ones until I have to. I've got a set of pliers. These usually come off pretty easy if you'll just take your pliers or channel locks and twist it a little bit to break it loose, and then it should slide right off. To get your bottom piece of your post off, there's a black clip here on the bottom. You just need to work it side to side and break it loose, and then you should be able to grab your channel locks and twist it and work it down the foot of your peg. And if you have the single peg, it's the same concept. I just have the double peg for my fence. We'll untie this real quick. So before you go to put your post back on your fence, hold off on this little black cap that goes on top. You want to do it last, so set it to the side, and we'll get to it here in just a second. Then after that, you can go to the bottom of your fence, and you want to start with the bottom loop and start working it down the top of your post. And just keep on going until you get all the loops worked onto your fence post. Now that I'm down to my last loop, I went ahead and grabbed my black plastic cap and I want to slide it on my post. I'm just going to go ahead and start it. I'm not going to push it all the way down until I get exactly where I want it. And then you just take your last loop and you'll slide it through that groove in the top. After I get my cap on, I put a little bit of tension on my wire and I work my loops down to where I need them so they're nice and even. And I put a little bit of tension on it just to make sure that nothing's twisted and everything looks good. I've also got a piece of my poly wire that attaches up top that's broke. This one's not energized. Only your horizontals are energized, so it's not really an issue. But I'm going to go ahead and work it through up here where it was and just tie it off. If it comes loose on me, I'll grab one of those little crimps out of the bag and put it on there, but I think this will be fine. And then I also need to take this main wire that runs across the bottom of my netting and go ahead and tie it back to this plastic clip that goes on my peg that goes in the ground. And then hopefully if you did everything right, that ought to be it. So that wasn't too bad, I don't guess. It probably only took me about 15 or 20 minutes to get that taken care of. And I don't run into these issues very often with this fencing. So I wanted to go ahead and take a minute and show y'all how to do that while I had the chance. But I guess that's about it for this one. Thank y'all for joining us here on the farm. I hope y'all have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time.